Hello, YouTube. Okay, so I already got my parental warning and my spoiler alert out of the way, so if you guys are still watching, I think that says it all. So, now let's actually talk about this season. So, Matt is still fighting crime by day as a lawyer and fighting crime at night as Daredevil. Even though he's fighting crime a whole lot less during the day this season, but I'll get on that later. But all of a sudden, a new person enters the scene, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, who is pretty much being called the one-man army and is taking out all these criminal gangs. Now, people have very mixed reactions on this, and it makes sense. And some people say that he's giving these scum what they deserve. Others are saying that it should be left up to the law and not just some guy running around saying that he's judge, jury, and executioner. But as the season goes on, we do learn more about why he thinks like this. Um, but this guy is eventually arrested, and guess who takes the case? Some random law attorneys know it's Matt Murdock, so I mean, it's Nelson Murdock, so yeah, they take that case, which is being described as the trial of the century. How is that the trial of the century? Out of all the big trials that go on this century, Frank Castle's is the trial of the century? What? I'm sorry, I really don't get that. Were they just trying to sell more papers with that? But yeah, well, at least Matt got that guy out of the way, so everything will be easier for him now, right? Nope, because Elektra comes in. And guess what she wants to do? Get Matt wrapped into her stupid plot with the hand. So, I mean, we even see in the past that this girl is not really a good person or should be trusted, but Matt decides, well, if you're paying me, then I'll help you out. And she gave some money to Nelson and Murdoch, so I guess they're even. So now, I mean, like, all she did was try and get Matt to kill someone. They're even now, seeing as she gave money to him, so yeah, he's gonna help her out. During the trial of the century. Matt, you a-hole. Should that count as going in the cuss jar? I'm not gonna count it, but jeez. I will bring this up later, trust me. Um, so he gets associated with the hand and everything that's going on with that. Frank is eventually arrested. Like I said, there were spoilers. Um, and guess who he's locked in jail with? Wilson Fisk. This is by far the best episode. Um, and also Matt gets more associated with everything going on with the hand, but no one really cares. So, yeah, Frank eventually does break out, and he goes after the guy who killed his family, which is the whole reason he's been hunting down criminals. And he gets caught in an explosion. He's the best. So, yeah, he got caught up in that. What's he gonna do now? Just survive it. How the heck did he do that? Okay, so he somehow survived an explosion and then goes after the guy who killed his family again, because that guy was not on the boat. Because why would he be on the boat? Um, so he does eventually kill him. Elektra is killed. Big shock. Yeah, for whoever was surprised by that, why were you surprised by that? Really, where was the surprise in that? But yeah, she is killed. Oh, and she's also called the Black Sky. I have no idea what that is. Like, they don't even explain it. Like, is the Black Sky a thing in the comics? I'm not that big of a Daredevil or Elektra reader or Punisher reader or Defender reader. So, I'm more of an X-Men reader, but, yeah, really, is that a thing in the comics? Like, the Black Sky? Does anyone know what that is? Because I seriously have no idea. They don't explain anything. All they say is the Black Sky is this evil thing and it needs to be. Outside of that, we get no context as to what the Black Sky is, what it does, how it works, or anything. All we know is that Elektra is it, and apparently she likes to kill. Is that what the Black Sky is? Someone who's not afraid to kill? If so, then wouldn't that be any member in the hand? Why is this so confusing? Really, can someone explain this? It really annoyed me this season. Um, but yeah, so they have a little funeral for her. She's grave robbed by the hand to put her in another coffin. Again, why? Why did you do that? I mean, you put blood into this coffin? Is it like gotta bring her back or something? I don't know. I'm really confused at this point. So, yeah, that happens, and now Foggy and Nelson have pretty much split up, where Foggy is now working with Jessica Jones. I don't know how to feel about that yet. And Karen is now pretty much filling up Ben's spot. So that's pretty cool. I kind of saw that one coming. And Matt is in the exact same place he's always been. We do find out that apparently Nelson and Murdoch all this time was just across the hall from Alias Investigations. That's kind of cool. Although in Jessica Jones was an Alias Investigations at the end of the hall and not just on the side wall. I don't remember when it was on the side wall. Did they expand a little bit more? I don't know. So, yeah, Frank burns down his house and the season is over. So, how do I feel about this season? Well, it's definitely not as good as season one, I will say that. Now, when I first watched this season, I was actually up till 5 watching. Um, I did start watching it, the very first night that it came out, which was after St. Patrick's Day, so the killing of the Irish guys was kind of funny. But, it was just kind of ironic. I don't know what they meant for that, because at the end of the season, it's a Christmas episode, because who wouldn't associate Daredevil with Christmas? And, yeah, I don't know. Did they mean to get this thing out around Christmas? Kind of missed that due date there, but, um, yeah, so I don't really know how I feel about this season. There are some really good aspects, like Frank Castle. I do love everything that's going on with him. The stuff with Foggy is actually kind of neat, and seeing how he's dealing with the fact that Matt is Daredevil, and he's not gonna stop being Daredevil. Um, Even though in episode 8, God, I hate that one. I will talk about that later. Episode 8 is the one that I dislike the most out of this season. But then, ironically, after that episode, we got the best episode with Wilson Fisk. Um, so there are some really good aspects in it, like again Frank Castle. Pretty much, like the first 6 episodes of this series of the season were really good and really strong, sort of like season one. But I think that they were trying to fill season one. I think they were trying to make it even better and step it up a little bit too much. Because I did watch season 1 before I watched season 2, and yeah, if you ask me, the two seasons should not be compared back to back, because season 1 will definitely shine out as a better season. Although that's not saying that season 2 is bad or anything. Season 2 is still a good season, and I do still enjoy it. It's just, season 1 was better to me. They had better flowing character and story arcs, and they had better motivation. Here, I mean, like, okay, Frank has a good motivation, but what's Elektra's? Why is she cool with killing? How did that happen? Why is she Black Sky? What is Black Sky still? I'm still wondering that. What does that coffin mean at the end of the season? How come that one guy who was burnt alive in season 1 still alive? How did that happen? I mean, okay, this show Hell's Kitchen, which I don't know if that counts, but I'm gonna count it. After the invasion of Chitauri from Avengers, but I mean, magic? They at least explained the Chitauri as they were a sort of a science thing, but here they just like straight up say it's magic. And to me, they sort of rushed into that without really giving an explanation as to magic being around in this world. They're just like, oh hey, magic exists by the way. Okay, well let's keep on buying the hand. I'm just like, wait, where did that come from? Where did magic come from? Where did this happen? So, yeah, as for how it went, I think that when Elektra's story arc came in, that's sort of when it got weaker. So let's talk about the characters in this season. For one, we got Frank Castle, also known as the Punisher, who is by far the best character this season. Um, his story arc is compelling. You do legitimately care about him, and he does even give some good arguments as to why he does this in the way that he does it. That rooftop episode, that's my second favorite episode of the season. I really did enjoy it, and it's actually been taken straight out of the comics, so that was cool. But, yeah, I really do like what they did with this character. They made him an ace at shooting, except for hitting this one Irish guy. I really don't get how that works. Yeah, he's a great shooter, but he can miss this one guy. Like, I thought that he just purposely missed this guy when I first watched this season. Like, this guy was like an intern or something. And he, like, purposely missed him because he hasn't done any wrong. But, nope. He apparently did just miss the guy because he was in the hallway. How does that work? Um, but, yeah, that's sort of the only time that I actually did doubt his, marksman skills. And making him a soldier, I do think, was a very good move. Now, I do have the utmost respect for soldiers. I always will. That's something I just want to bring up. Two members of my family have been soldiers. One of them even got a movie about Vietnam, and they're fighting Vietnam, which I'm not allowed to see, unfortunately. But yeah, I have had two family members that have been in war. And I just have the utmost respect for any soldier. So when I heard that he was a soldier, I actually did give a little salute because seriously, I just have the utmost respect for soldiers. I know this is kind of random me talking about that, but really, anyone who goes out there and fights for their country deserves the utmost respect. So, yeah, there is that, and, now I did actually see the movie of The Punisher a little bit before watching this season 2, which is kind of funny, but, I can't really tell which Punisher I like more. Because they're both done pretty well. Now, this song I know doesn't really tie into this season, but this song I do want to bring up, seeing as they have introduced the Punisher. Um, both of the actors, I think, give out a different portrayal of the character, and I think that Daredevil might have done him a bit better, but yeah, the movie still does do it pretty good. Which is surprising, seeing as it's a 2004 movie, so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up a little bit. So the Punisher in this season is great. I loved seeing him. He was awesome. I haven't seen the actor in anything else, so, I hear that he's been in other stuff. I just haven't really looked into it. So yeah, that actor did a good job. Now let's get into Elektra. Oh boy, what to say about Elektra? Did she mean to feel exceedingly rushed? I mean, she comes in like episode 6, so you think that they'll have time to develop her, but by the end of the season, I didn't really feel that bad about her death. Yeah, her dying, I was just sort of like, oh no, that's sad. What's Matt gonna do? Like, I was more concerned about what Matt was doing. Like, I honestly did start placing bets, though, as to whether or not Matt would kill someone after that happened. I lost $10, um, because he threw a guy who he already knew can't be killed off a roof. That kind of shows me that he kind of didn't mean to kill the guy, and the guy didn't die. I'm not gonna count it as he died, so I lost $10. Um, and everything with Elektra, I sort of just think that they should have just waited till the next season. Now, I know they have Luke Cage coming out and Iron Fist, and they still have Jessica Jones to continue, and they're also making The Defenders, which is a combination of all these shows, and they have a lot to work on. I know. Trust me, I get it. I do a lot of multitasking too, but man, Elektra just felt rushed. I mean, she felt really rushed in this. I was just sort of watching her like, that's it? That's all Elektra does? Okay. Now, granted, when she first comes in, I think she's kind of cool. And I do like her demeanor and her character personality traits, but for the most part, I just found her pretty boring, and I think that the actress does good, but I think that the character needed more time to be developed. And then we have, oh my god, Matt is an asshole this season. Really. He's a complete a-hole. Seriously. Okay, so at the beginning of this season, he seems alright. Heck, I actually found myself very concerned about him when his hearing started to fail. And when I saw that coming on screen, I honestly was really suspense-filled. I was at the edge of my seat when that came on. Seriously, every time that they would cut away from Matt, I'd be like, no, back to Matt. He's losing his hearing over there. I want to see that. But, of course, no, they're just like, oh, no, you want to see Karen and Foggy talk about stuff. I'm like, no, I want to see Matt. Give me Matt. I want to see this. He's losing his hearing over here, for God's sakes. And, yeah, I did actually sort of see that they could pick up with that. With most shows, when a character has something like that happen to them in a show, like, at the beginning of the season, I'm just like, well, they're not gonna get hurt. That's one of the main characters, and the show just started. Unless they're killing Daredevil off of Daredevil, he's gonna be fine. But they do find a way to get him past that, so I thought that was pretty cool. But, yeah, for the most part this season, I did like him. That is until episode 7 and episode 8, in which Matt is completely dodging all his abilities so he can just hang out with Elektra, fight crime, be Daredevil, which he could do at night. We've seen him balance it out before. Why couldn't he just wait for a little bit so he could deal with this? Why is Elektra shaping his schedule? He literally told Elektra, no, I had to do this, but no. When she starts talking to him, oh, well, never mind, I can't do this now. Elektra called me. Really, Matt? Do you have to be an a-hole? No wonder your friends leave you this season. God, I really hated Matt in those 2 episodes. After that, he got better, except for his whole entire, oh, Elektra is my life speech, which I really don't get. It was very, very random. It just comes out of nowhere. But, I mean, really, when were they in love? Like, I guess they were in love in the past, and they were trying to build up connections again, but it seemed like they needed a little bit more time given to that. And really, Matt is just an a-hole in the middle of the season. I just really didn't like him there. I'm glad they improved him a bit more at the end of the season, but episode 8 is still the worst one to me. And that's pretty much the episode where he is the most a-hole-like. So after that, we have Foggy. Everything going on with Foggy, I think, is pretty well done. It does seem very natural. It does feel like a general reaction to everything that he's learned in the last season, everything about Daredevil that's happened with him. So I like what they did with that. Although I do kind of wish that they could have still hung out at least at Josie's at the end of the season, but you win some, you lose some. And at least in the last season, they had a bittersweet ending for the two of them. Now it's just sort of like a bitter ending. It's really bitter. So that one, not sure how I feel about yet, but definitely does give me more reason to watch Jessica Jones. And now with Karen Page, I think that she's still awesome. They still have done her pretty well. I like that she's sort of filling in Ben Urich's spot, which is pretty cool. I do like seeing that coming in. And you could kind of see that in the first season, so I like how it doesn't feel like it's rushed or anything. You could definitely see that. Although what was rushed with her was her thing with Max, which, where the heck did that come from? Really? What? Where did this happen? All of a sudden, they're a thing. When did this happen? I don't know. I mean, like, they just bring it up out of nowhere. They're in the rain, they make out, they're in love now. I don't get it. If anything, they were drunk while doing that, so I'm really confused right now. Like, when they started kissing and becoming a thing, I'm just like, wait, when did this happen? And it's not like she had really that good of a connection with Matt. She hardly even meets him at work. I mean, come on, where did this happen? With Foggy, um, who surprisingly takes all this pretty well, even though they were a thing at one point. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say on that. The Hand in this season, I think, like Elektra, they could have saved her till the next season. They could have saved all that till the next season, maybe foreshadow it a little bit, but all in all, just save it. And now there are two more things I want to bring up. For one, who else was really ready to see Bullseye? Or at least see the coming of Bullseye? Sort of like a Riddler thing on Gotham. I really want to see something like that with Bullseye. There were two Irish guys here who I saw that could fit in the Bullseye place, and they had them all set up. Like the one guy who was missed in the shooting of the Irish mob. Yeah, that one guy could have been an awesome Bullseye. He's Irish, like Bullseye is. He sort of worked as a hitman for a time for an Irish mob. He wasn't really a part of that Irish mob. He worked with them. And so, yeah, it kind of feels like that would hint at Bullseye, but nope, he's killed, so we can't do it. But then they bring in another Irish guy who does the Joker trick from The Dark Knight with the pencil in the eye thing. Yeah, he does that too. Did he watch The Dark Knight? I don't know. And for him, I thought he was gonna be Bullseye as well. But no! They shoot him through the eye, and he's dead, and brains go everywhere. Why? You got Bullseye all set up here, and you could do it. You just kill him off. We see the Bullseye card. Does that mean anything? Does that mean he's coming in? I don't know. I want to see it though. I want to see Bullseye. And so yeah, that kind of annoyed me. Like all these possible Bullseyes, they're just like, nope, kill him, kill him, kill him. I'm just like, really? Why? Why do I even try? Um, and the last thing I want to talk about is Wilson Fisk, who is building up his empire again in prison. And oh my god, it is awesome. I love seeing that. I love how he's able to do this. I seriously love Wilson Fisk as a villain, and him coming back, that by far made the season for me. I love seeing his return. I love seeing how he sort of got his new Wesley. Like, really, I didn't even learn the guy's name. I just sort of call him Wesley too. Um, so it's very awesome to see him return. I really do enjoy that. And so for the season overall, yeah, not as good as season one, but oh yeah, and also the hallway fight scene. They sort of did that sort of thing again with the oneer shot, and I love that. Actually, they did a lot of oneers in this season, which I'm all for. I'm a big fan of those oneer shots. Which, if you don't know what oneer is, it's a shot that continues going on with no cuts in between. And really, I just really do enjoy those. We saw quite a few of those this season, and every one of them I liked. So this was a fun season, and I did enjoy it. Um, I didn't enjoy it as much as season one, but I think it still is strong. Just it's stronger on its own. But if you compare it back to back with season one, yeah, you'll find that season one is stronger. But that doesn't make the season any worse. It's just sort of they did so well with this other season. It's kind of unfair to compare the two, in my opinion. So I enjoyed this season. I thought it was fun, and that's pretty much all I gotta say on it. So yeah, bye.